So just showing you my tea tonight. I've got a sea bass, which I've just pan fried in some butter. I've maybe slightly overdone it. Rice and stir fry vegetables. I just made a really quick stir fry sauce with ginger, garlic, hoisin, soy sauce, a bit of sherry vinegar, some lime juice, and I'm having it with one of Jeremy's Hawkstone Session Lagers. I bought a pack of these from Morrison's. They were a bit of a treat, a bit of a splurge. And I had one after Thorntondale show, and then I'm having another one tonight, and they are really, really good. I'm not a lager connoisseur at all. I mainly drink Birra Moretti, San Miguel. These are glasses that I'm not quite sure where they came from, but I got them when I was at uni. Or I don't mind a Peroni. But I'm really a big fan of the Hawkstone. It is a bit pricey, but if you like it, I think you have to pay the price. And obviously we're supporting British farming, which is the thing. So shout out to Jezza. You know. Now Toothy, you're our poster girl, aren't you? You've got to appear on the banner. There's a few slightly thinner ewes, but I don't think there's a lot thin there. I think the current fat is swirling all of everywhere. Hey, Jem. Well, it's like the Sahara Desert. That's a good big black one. Oh, strange. God, it's so warm already. What do you say? Pennywise. Oh, I tipped one trap over. Just watch out because he is coming. Good girl. Oh God, who am I being chased by? My little rosette winner. We've got Lara, that's her mother there. That's a weather. This is, bloody hell, this is Teddy. Teddy will soon be good enough to go. Are you choking, Winston? Dear me, please don't choke him. This is Hula, one of our new valet. She wasn't eligible to go to any shows this year, and I'm hoping she should be in Lamb because Jolly managed to get over the fence and took her. Oh. So after the show we decided we would, ow, Lara, did you have to do that? We would bring Jolly in here just because he is feeling particularly romantic, so I just have to hope he doesn't get the two borders in. After Fandale show, I should think we'll pull them out. As you can see, we have absolutely no grass in here, just a lot of thistles that I think Dad's hoping to top at some point. So I do think we might have to get some wethers cashed in. So we've got this one here that is choking. He's a hogget that's going to be ready to go for freezer. And there is another one. Oh, it's over there near the having a drink. That two that are probably ready to go now. Then there's that white one just there. That other white one that's stood. And then little Teddy, they'll be to go a little bit later. Now Willow hopefully is putting enough weight on that she'll look alright for the show at the end of this month, along with little Jan. We're taking Wisp, who, despite being small, I actually think is the slightly better of two. You're keen, aren't you, Joel? But you're barking up wrong tree with that, Jan. Aren't you? You're fancying a bit of lion, aren't you? Tape number 40. We have to go soon. Get some burgers. My mate's still talking. He's obviously eating his food too quickly. She hasn't been particularly receptive, isn't Lion? Who's that stood behind? I think that is a weather. Jolly, please try it on with right, Jan. It is so hot already. I feel like my face is glowing. So we've fed everybody apart from lambs at Bottom Field. It's just Rosie and Angelica's tubs to get out because they're just getting fed separately, just to try and encourage them to put a bit of weight on. I have some fleeces to maybe sort out. I have a lady's asked me if she can have a few different bits. She don't want a full fleece. She wants some she can make do like crafting things with kids in the holidays. So I said I would try and get a few different sorts for her to play with. And I thought, oh, that might be a good idea. So I was going to try and maybe do a few like little bags of different wools. Some of it I'll put in as washed, some of it no, I'll charge a bit more for washed. That's an idea. Here's my boy. Vincenzo! This is my gorgeous boy. Now, he is going to a show at the end of this month, but he is so dirty. He did have a bit of a problem earlier, well, last month, with spilling his cud a bit. Now, we stopped doing that, but it's now just left him with a bit of staining. So he's going to want a good bath, but I'm real pleased with how he looks. And he's lovely, aren't you? He's the bestest boy. We just have to do a bit of training with him. He's been shown before. I'm not sure if he's by his previous, by his breeder. I don't know if she showed him in hand or on a halter, but you are good to deal with, aren't you? You're gonna have to be good to deal with. But yeah, and really a lot of grass at all. This is finally just the lambs to feed. We're hoping to start getting a few sold. There's a few that we're hoping that will go privately, mainly the Valley, potentially some of the Suffolk Gimmers, and potentially some of the Jacobs. Any rare breeds. The Jacobs I'll probably take to one of the rare breed sales. They do quite well in there. Gimmers, we'll try our best to flatter at Weathers, but I've never had a great deal of luck with them because they don't tend to eat as much out at trough. Though these are ones I think that have got the most sort of hunger about them, so they are going to eat out at troughs of it, which is good. There's a few very big Weathers that we shall keep, and then hopefully we'll start to do first lot of draws for stall lambs. Just because, again, like there is a bit of grass back there, but again, now tells in this field, with us being on such sandy land, any bit of moisture, it just drains away, and because it's been so windy constantly, it's just blowing it off the surface straight away. So yeah, we've had a bit of rain and such, but it's made no difference. She's a good lamb here. I think you're a weather lamb, aren't you? Yeah. He's a good one. He's come out of one of our own yows. And yeah, he'll come out of Jazz. Some of them I can remember and some I can't. This little funny looking dude, he's out of one of my border gimmers that unfortunately got caught by Suffolk rather than the border Leicester. This little black dude, well, I don't know if it's male or female, never really comes to trough but seems happy enough. This is Lulu's lamb. So Lulu's one of my pedigree Jacobs, and every year she's had weathers, no matter if I put her to the Jacob or to something else. And then this year we had a right carry on lamb in her. She had a great big tut lamb that was dead. I had to hold on to try and pull it out, but then she had a little gimmer behind, so we're very pleased about that. And I am, even though we're planning on coming out at Jacob's, I am very tempted to keep her just because she's come out of a Lulu. And they make good mothers if you cross them over onto other things. And I do seem to have a bit of a market for wool, which is nice. And you're just so precious, aren't you? You're lovely looking. There's another nice Gimmer Jacob just up again. Those bars there. We've had quite a few Jacob Gimmers this time. Previous years we've had next to none, and weathers are worth hardly anything. Yeah, so I'll have to find a bit of shade because it is so hot. Oh, that sun's behind a cloud. Well, what are you doing to those chickens? All lambs were creating, so I went round to see, and that tub that's about knackered, water tub, they'd totally kicked that over and all water was out. So I've swapped it over with one in there. Yeah. But they're just shouting all the time, they're chasing you wherever you go. So this is my other car, this is my weekend car, that for a lot of years he's just sat. He lived in this big container for a while, but we're getting him up and going through his MOT, insured and everything. And my father wants to do something to my car, so I might be hooning it around in Girl Racer car for a bit. So hot. It's hard to do much of anything when it's red hot like this, if you're not sat in an air conditioned tractor cab, that is. But I think my father's been riding around, yes, in a load of tractor because he's planning on mucking the shed out. So this is where we lamb. It's what looked like a really big shed, but when you've got 70 hours in it, don't look that so big, especially when you've got pens and everything set up. It would be nice to make it a bit bigger, but unfortunately we've put it on wrong way around. So if we were to add an extra bay on either end, you're cutting out yard space here, and obviously you can't do it that side because it makes it difficult to get around to the shed at the back, and it isn't really high enough to put a lean-to on, so we're not really. You'd probably have to put same again. It would be really nice to have like a little channel in between, wide enough for a vehicle to go down. You could have two sheds side by side, and then you could have an access through, which is a little bit like what my fella has at his farm. This is a much more proper farm than ours. What was this? By a lot of stand-ins, just a little small holding. Right, I don't have enough hands to turn it off, so I'm just going to have to play for a bit. So I have a few bags of fleece. Some of it's, well, that's just no good. But this stuff, and there's some really nice stuff in there. I'm hoping to kind of work through, and there's some nice coloured stuff in there. That looks a bit more like rubbishy stuff. But certainly these 3 bags, I'd like to try and go through and pick some nice bits of fleece out for this idea I've had. So this is our feed shed and general workspace. So we have all of our sort of all equipment, medicines, treatment, stuff like that there. Buckets, my tubs. So basically what we do is we feed the ewes when they're in the pens out of these little tubs, and I put an SOS out at work for if anybody had any of them, because they're changing them to paper, which obviously isn't going to be very good for in a pen with a ewe that can stamp through it. I mean, there's a couple that have already been stamped through, and so for a couple of months after sort of Christmas, every day when I turned up, there was a couple of them on my desk at work, along with egg boxes. It all needs a real big sort out. My dad put these cupboards up. There's all my marker sprays, various other bits and bats, some medicines and stuff. All needs to have a real good sort out. Most important thing in any sheep is some rich tea biscuits. Usually not for the shepherds because they're a bit soft. They're for coaxing other sheep that are sometimes a bit reluctant to, I can't think of what the word is, cooperate, there you go. So yeah, so it still needs a good sort out, but that's it. So, since it's so hot outside, sheep are all quiet, can't really do a great deal. Well, I don't like to do a lot with them when it is hot like this. I've come home mainly to sort through some of these bags here, which all have sheep's fleece in, and some of those do as well, to see if any of it, like that, there's some nice stuff in there. That stuff, no, because it's got lots of straw and stuff. I'm not sure if there's any good in there, but also there's some bags in the garage, which is here, and in the summer house, to see if I can find any more fleece for my friend who wanted to buy some to do some crafting with her kiddies, and also because I want to just kind of tidy up this space. There's lots of leaves that need cleaning out. My that's a scarifier. It's not the scarifier, yeah, that's a scarifier. That can go in the garage now that I've made a bit more space. That kind of thing, and also like the recycling tubs, we don't use them anymore because we've now got the new bins. I want to move them out of the way, just to have a bit of a general tidy up. These are some wreath rings from wreaths that I made years ago on the front door. I just have a bit of a sort out in here because it's just a bit cluttered, and then if I still have time before I go to feed up, then I might have a go at tidying down the side of the summer house, because a lot of these are either bags of leaf mould that I've been gathering up, or the muck from cleaning out the chickens, which I tend to bag up, leave down the side of the summer house to hopefully rot down, and then I just chuck it on the flower beds in a couple of years' time, just to try and add a bit of extra humus into the soil. I think there is a bag with some logs in, so that's good to know sort of how many logs I have in preparation for winter. I'm hoping at some point Dad will come when he comes to get rid of so there's a couple of old Christmas trees that we were giving to the goats, but we never got these brought from mine, and plus some of the twigs that fell off this tree here. though some of the bigger bits we'll saw them up into logs, but I'm hoping when Dad comes to take the things away that are going on the bonfire, he'll also take this unit here. It just makes it a bit tight, and I tend to back the car in here, and it's very slowly moving off from the wall, and it does start to open by itself, and it just looks a bit messy, and then I can try and make this space a bit tidier. Yeah, so that's sort of the plan for this afternoon. I'll prepare yourself for the change. So I've had a right good clear out, got rid of, I'm going to fall over an apple, all them cardboard boxes and stuff that were there. My idea was to put the hay rack in the garage, but I don't think, well, if I put it in there it'll just be in the way again, so there's a bit of space there so it can go there. I have a bag with a couple of logs in, half a bag of kindling, those two are rubbish bags, those two are rubbish bags, these have fleeces in that are good to work with, so I need to sort through them today. And then I have some straw for my chickens, just a bit of leaf mould there that I'm making, that's ash from fire. Then all of this is either like leaf mulch or muck from the chickens that's to go down the side of some house, and there's also some sort of, they're just ends and bits of fleece and stuff like that that are to go in the garden. So I'll probably tie all these bags up, put them down the side of the summer house, which is also what I've been doing a bit this afternoon. It's just getting so bloody hot. You kind of can't do much of anything. I mean, I've been in that corner down the side of some house and I'm about done in from the heat. But yes, I'm going to have a quick drink, maybe sort through these fleeces. I don't want to go and feed up with the sheep when it's hot like this until later on. But now pleased with how I've got on today. Happy Sunday everybody! It's another bright and sunny day, another dry day, desperately waiting for some rain. Let's have a look at the chicks. Well, you've scalded your yellow thing over, haven't you? How are you guys doing? Oh, you guys seem to be a bit more respectable with your thing, don't you? Very good. Not quite sure what the plan is today. We'll see. Come on, a bit of that. So, just managed to reverse park the Subaru in the carport. It's a much smaller car and it's a much lower down car, so it looks tiny in the space where my car, with it being a bit bigger, seems to fill it up quite nicely. But yeah, so I picked it up from Mum and Dad's and I just took it for a bit of a spin, not too far, just to get used to it again, because it is quite different, obviously, it being a petrol and it being well, a more sporty kind of car. So yeah, and I got a few admiring glances and a few sort of bemused looks, but yeah, I didn't do anything crazy, mainly because I think, and I don't think you meant to do this, but there were quite a few people sort of flashing, so whether there was maybe a police car or something, but I never saw it, so whether it was further along the bypass, but I just went and turned round on the little roundabout and came back home. But yeah, so I'm starving, so I'm going to crack on with tea, I think. And then probably set off a little bit earlier to work so I can get parked okay. Although it'll be much easier to park this in the works car park because the spaces are tiny. I'll be very upset if somebody dinks it. I mean, it'll probably be, well, I don't know, I think in practice they're going up in value and I would like to think I'd get more than what we paid for it. Though I don't think I would ever want to sell it just because it's such a cool car and it was sort of a dream purchase when we got it, and yeah, I have a lot of good memories in this car, so it's fun. Yeah. Luna, what you doing up there? That way you sunbathe? So she's parked in there. You can't even see her front road end. I'm calling her. No, Dickie's always been he's a boy car. Oh gosh. There's my little number from when we did a track day, 2015. Yeah, so when we first got it, it was all stickered up with all the Subaru swooshes, and it had a number on the side and everything. The sun's just glaring. And it had, you know, like the wish list down the side and everything. It said Pro Drive and all this stuff. So my dad spent ages checking it all off, and I got a red Nürburgring sticker to go on either side, which looks pretty cool. I think I have a Bridge to Gantry sticker. Yeah, and then a Bridge to Gantry. So if you know anything about the Nürburgring, that's it was I think, yeah, it's a website, but that was sort of how you timed your laps, was from the Bridge to Gantry, and it was like a saying, and there's an English guy that lives over there, and that's the name of his website, and we kept the Scooby on the back, which was cool. But yeah, he's just cool and just a bit retro. And my dad said the classic car event that he went to the other weekend, he said their car, any car that's over 20 years old, so Dickie can go. So next year we might take him as well. I don't think he'd classify, well, he's a Subaru Classic after all, that's what they call them. But yeah, so I'll enjoy taking him to work the next couple of weeks. I mean, something to get used to, but yeah, it just looks quite cool having him back. So these in here are the good sheep, the well-behaved sheep. Those in there, they are the naughty sheep. So today I had somebody come in to pick a valley wether, and I wanted they were coming for about 2:30. I wanted them all to be penned up so we look like professional farmers, you know, we know what we're doing with these sheep and everything. It was 2:20, me and Mother, we'd get them in, we'd walk them all the way around this field, we'd set up this pen, we'd go, oh, coming along here, and then they made a break through electric fence wire, and that was it. It was just carnage. So we got ever so many penned up. I think Mother managed to swing gate round and get it shut behind them, but we had just all these that were just running free, and unfortunately one of them was the wether lamb, the one we wanted, but I managed to go and catch him up here. We pulled him back and put him in pen just as the people arrived, while there were sheep running around everywhere, and it was just chaos. But anyway, they picked their wether and they've taken him, so now we're going to sort through them all. I'm going to mark females from males, do a bit of tidying up. There's a couple that want maybe their bums dagging out. I think I'm going to give them all a mineral drench, and then we're going to put a bale of haylage in, which is much easier to do with them when they're all penned up. But yes, I am very glad I did not have the camera rolling.
You will never know.
Oh, I don't know if you could hear that, but there was a flock of geese flying over, and well, the noise was quite deafening. Oh, they're just over these trees. You can just maybe see some little dots quite in the distance. There's Scamston Lake is sort of over that way, so they all tend to hang out around there. But yeah, so we've just mineral drenched all the lambs and given them all a top up of a fly preventative, so hopefully that'll see them through this season. So these are all the lambs barring, I think there's maybe 10 that are just elsewhere still with their mums, or we have a couple in another pen. But yeah, so a mix of Suffolks, Border Leicesters, Jacobs and Valley. What me and Mum have done, we've sorted through them all, and I've given them all a dot on the back of the head whether they're a boy or a girl, just so it makes it so much easier for me when we're looking at entering sheep in sales and stuff like that, or if I'm advertising them, I can just say, oh, look at them in the field and say, right, there's 10. Whereas before you're like, oh, there's 20 Suffolks, but I don't know how many of each there are. So hopefully it'll just make it that bit easier for us. There's a couple of littler ones, but like there's some really big ones. Like these 3 are really, really good. You're lovely, aren't you? That's a Valley Gimmer. hoping to be sorting a new home out for her. This is a Valley Gimmer out of a Jacob Cross Ballet ewe. It's really nice. So yeah, so no, good job done. Mum's just taken the net down, the offending net, and start doing water. Yeah. So no, we've had a good afternoon, apart from when I threw my toys out at pram. Oh, just leave it. All right, Mum, just leave it. Yeah, like I said to Mum, we've got so many sheep on now, and we're having to do so much with that's taking them to shows, selling fleeces, advertising lambs in different places, as well as taking them to market, as well as having to deal with the drought, moving them around, and just the general day. You know, the drought isn't helping at all because it means we're having to feed them, so that's adding time on all the time. We're having to feed hay, so we've put a fresh bale of haylage in, which will probably be gone by tomorrow. So just, yeah, stuff like that's just making it a bit trickier. But no, I'm very pleased with what we're doing. And I mean, me and my mother have been raving about with these lambs, and yeah, they're hard work to deal with, but it's quite good to know that they're hard work. So yeah, means they're growing well. One thing I would have liked to have done today, but we haven't managed to do, is weigh them. So that'll probably be next on the agenda.